Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to tonight's live. And of course, I'm behind. How's that happen? Every time. Every time. So I'm just grabbing my notes and stuff, and then I'll get my camera on, and we will get started. How's everybody doing tonight? I'm on a little bit early, kind of. We usually come on about 8 o'clock. Actually, oh, I need those papers. I don't know why I was putting that stuff away. That's the stuff I need. We're almost to the weekend, which is awesome. Awesome, awesome. I usually sneak in the chat before I come on, but I didn't get to today. So, hi, Wine Cellar. I saw Summers in here and Leo and Jan, Leisha, Tsunami. Thank you guys for being here tonight. Appreciate it, Dr. Bob. Are you a real doctor, Dr. Bob? I wonder that. Honestly, Sarah Boone didn't think things out. Oh my gosh, I know, right? Just imagine half-price airline travel benefits carrying on your significant other. Tsunami. Oh my lordy. I needed that laugh because she's nuts. And now she's going to use the battered wife defense. Battered, I guess, girlfriend defense. I don't think they were technically married, but I think they were still pretty much married. So, hey, Debbie. How are you guys? Hi, Harlot. Hi, everybody. Hey, Chosen. Hi, everybody. Oh, my Lord. Oh, so I just realized, oh, hey, Reba. Hey, Gina. I just realized on my screen, like, I don't know, like some messages come on like one screen, some of them come on the other. That's so weird. I've been doing this for a long time. Not like a long time, but you know. Hey, Riddler. I got your email. I saw that first thing like this afternoon. I think it was like this afternoon. Hey, Gator. And hey, Jeremy. So, yeah, I saw the JonBenet Ramsey. Oh, my Lord. We might have a break in the case. This might be a real break in the case. I mean, I was like, we got to do a cover multiple cases tonight on our live. So let me get my camera on. Here I am. Let me make sure none of my stuff's in my way. I've got stuff everywhere. But that's how I roll around here. That's how I roll. Hi, ATS. If you guys wouldn't mind just hitting the like button as you're coming in, that really helps build the channel and all that good stuff. Hi, TLC. Oh, I want to say TLC Bell all the time. That's just your name now. That's so funny. That's just your name now. Let me get I don't have my banner up there tonight. Let's see. Oh, look. It actually, oh, not that one. That one. Okay. We'll get there, won't we? So we're going to cover a few different cases tonight. I figured, why not, you know? It's Thursday. We'll try something different. Let's see. Do we want to go? We'll probably just like hit Idaho up last because it seems like we talk about that one the most. So we'll go all the way back. How about we go like longest, furthest, like the past to the future. So we'll start with our girl JonBenet Ramsey. And I actually try to pull up pictures. And I think everybody knows who JonBenet Ramsey is, but you know. I will get a little picture up here of her. Cutest little girl in the world. I remember I was 11 when this case happened, and I remember it was on the TV because every case that was like true crime, my dad covered it or followed it. I'm trying to get like a bigger one. Okay. But yeah, so this is her, in case you didn't know. But I think everyone knows who little JonBenet Ramsey is. But if you don't know, it's been 27 years since JonBenet's, body was found in her basement by her father. She was just 6 years old. It was in Boulder, Colorado. They lived in a beautiful home. And I can still see like all the decorations in the house being all decorated for Christmas. The night before the Ramsey family had gone, they had a son, they had their daughter, and then Patsy and John, they all went to a Christmas party that they had with friends that they went every year. And they arrived home late that evening, and then John put little JonBenet Ramsey to bed for the night. So the longest saga feels like into the investigation into her death. It started at 5:52 a.m. that morning when her mother Patsy found the ransom letter that we all know about now. She was very frantic. She screamed for her husband and screamed that she had been kidnapped. So she was found later that morning by her father after the officers, almost kind of like the Idaho case in a way. So Idaho, it's been speculated, it's been said, even the officer said there was kids there before, like the officers arrived on scene, kind of like that. But this was like a prestigious family, and the officers didn't really know what they were doing either, and they allowed their friends and everybody to come in. Like they had everybody in there. I don't know about the letter. See, the letter is to me is just it's always been weird. That letter's always been weird because it was on like her pad of paper. They said it would look like her handwriting, but they did end up ruling, Patsy and John out. I never thought it was them necessarily or the son Bert. I don't know why. I mean, I was like young when this happened, and I didn't know anything, but they're saying that there might be a new person. So they even said that the guy that played Santa was involved. That there's been a lot of people that, have come up throughout the investigation. They focused at the investigation, it seemed like in the beginning, a lot of it was on like Patsy and John, I felt like. And then they cleared them. I think Patsy died in like, I want to say like 2006 or something. I know she passed away of cancer. Hey, Bitchy Bookworm. Hey, Dan. Hey, welcome in, guys. Hey, Debbie. We have 2 Debbies in here tonight. Debbie with an I, Debbie with an IE. Hey, Jax. I don't know if I missed anybody. Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to. I'm trying to say hi to everyone. But so yeah, her brother was, blamed. Her parents were blamed. The man that played Santa Claus at the party that night was blamed. Even a guy came forward and said he did it. He was like obsessed with this little girl, because she was in pageants. I mean, she was a little beauty queen, and he became obsessed and, obsessed with her. And he said that he did it, and then he didn't do it. So today I was watching YouTube, per usual, and they have a guy that came out and confessed. It's a convicted pedo. Gary Olivia allegedly admitted to having an obsession with JonBenet Ramsey, and he confessed to the 1996 homicides and letters to one of his classmates. So it's only a short video, but we'll go over this and just listen in. And I really pray that this is legit. It sounds like things are lining up, but it's like you can't really go back and check phone records from 1996 at the same time. But I swear that they said they had DNA, because that's what John Ramsey's been talking about for years. So, because in this you'll hear them say we may never see an outcome or something. They say something like that, and I'm like, no, don't you say that. Don't say that, John Mark Carr, yes. Thank you. One Solved Mystery. I couldn't remember the name off of the top of my head on that one. So yeah, Gary Olivia is the new one. Yeah, just on. Hi guys. And thanks everybody for joining us tonight. And thanks Wizard for coming. I saw you, and sometimes I feel like, I don't know, you guys know that I'm waving, but I don't even wave. I just wave with my eyes sometimes. I wonder the one who confessed. Is the guy telling the truth? I wonder the one who confessed. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. It didn't come back. Did they already do the DNA on it already? Well, this says 5 hours, but that was 8 hours? Wow. Because this just came out 8 hours ago. So maybe I didn't hear that part. Let's see what they say. It's our friend Vinny, I believe, for this one. Yep, there he is.
December 26, 1996. A brisk, clear morning in Boulder, Colorado. John Ramsey was up before dawn.
Well, I was shaving, I guess, in the bathroom.
And we have a back staircase from the bedroom areas. And I always come down that staircase, and I'm usually the first one down. and the note was lying across the run of one of the stair treads. And it was kind of dimly lit because it was very early in the morning. And I started to read it, and it was addressed to John.
A terrifying message scrawled across 3 pages.
It said, "We have your daughter."
I just heard Patsy scream. I could tell by her scream that something horrible was going on. I didn't know what.
And I immediately ran back upstairs and pushed open her door, and she was not in her bed.
JonBenet Ramsey was found dead, strangled, in the basement of that home. Wasn't kidnapped. This case still never solved. No one's been held responsible since 1996, but some huge developments tonight we want to talk about. Let's bring in our special guest joining us in New York, senior reporter for the U.S. Sun, Luke Kenton is with us. Luke, great to see you. Thanks so much. Read your article. Wow. Let's talk about this development. It's a man named Gary Oliva. Gary Oliva, tell us what you found out about him, what his link is to JonBenet Ramsey.
Yeah, so Gary Oliva, first and foremost, is not a good guy. The story involving Gary kind of begins on the 27th of December 1996, when he was reported to Boulder police, because basically the night before, he'd called an old high school friend back in California, who he said through tears and could barely catch his breath, "I've just hurt a little girl." So this was on the night that JonBenet's body was, a few hours after JonBenet's body was found on December 26th. Was crying that he'd hurt a little girl in Boulder, and he hung up the phone. Now his friend that was on the other end of the phone didn't know really what to make of that call, was obviously concerned, but couldn't get any information out of him. It wasn't until the next day that he went on the front porch, picked up the newspaper, and saw the news that a 6-year-old girl had been killed in Boulder, Colorado. He immediately calls the Boulder Police Department, reports the call from the day before, and then 3 months pass. He doesn't hear anything, and he calls the tip line again, reports it to Boulder Police, doesn't hear anything again. Fast forward 19 years later, Gary Oliva is in prison for child pornography offenses and confesses in a series of letters to the same person that he called that night, claiming to have killed JonBenet by accident.
This is unbelievable. I mean, this is, did police ever talk to this man in California? I mean, he is claiming to have gotten a call before this story is even in the news from this guy.
Yeah, so hours before it, made headlines across the country, he said, "I've hurt a little girl," and he's in Boulder. And bearing in mind at the time, this guy was was associated with the property about 13 houses away. He was getting his mail from a church, 13 houses away from the Ramsey family. And the tip, like I said, wasn't followed up upon immediately by Boulder police. At the time, they were zeroing on either Patsy or John Ramsey being responsible for JonBenet's death. It wasn't actually until 4 years later when he was arrested on the campus of the University of Colorado in Boulder with pictures of JonBenet in his bag, a poem that he'd written to JonBenet called Ode to JonBenet, and he was also found with a stun gun, and that was kind of a crucial development for investigators because over the course of their investigation after the first few months, they kind of theorized that perhaps that she was subdued with the stun gun prior to her death. So that's when police started looking at Gary, which was 4 years later.
Yet nothing seemed to come of it all. Was he, in my understanding, there's a photo of him or images of him at a vigil for JonBenet as well?
Yeah, that's right. So this vigil took place on the year anniversary of her death. So that was on Christmas night, I believe that was held a short distance away from the Ramseys' home. And that picture that we published was actually taken by private investigators hired by John Ramsey, who were investigating Gary at that time, believing him to be a very credible suspect and certainly somebody that's capable of committing such a horrific act. The Boulder police wouldn't look at Gary for another 3 years after that.
Unbelievable. One final question. How specific were the details in these letters, these alleged confession letters?
Yeah, so the confession letters were written in and around 2019. There's roughly a dozen of them. One of them I can read you here. I've got it written down below me here. It says, I never loved anyone like I did JonBenet, yet I let her slip and her head bashed in half and I watched her die. It was an accident, please believe me. So he's claiming that he killed JonBenet by accident. Whether or not you can take that at face value, who knows? That's for Boulder police to investigate. They did acknowledge the confession letters when they were first published in 2019, but seemed to kind of brush them under the carpet. They said, we've heard this guy confess before and we've looked into it. There's no further updates in this case. But I think, certainly he's a character that John Ramsey was particularly interested in. I think he's certainly somebody that's worth having a second look at.
Absolutely. Luke Kenton, U.S. Sun. Great job. Thanks so much, Luke. Appreciate it.
Okay, so yeah, I actually just remembered, like, whenever we were talking about the DNA. So they did find DNA in the JonBenet Ramsey case. They found DNA under her fingernails. Also, they found it in her underwear. So I remember I watched a clip, like an article, I think it might have even been on Court TV with John Ramsey, her father, saying he wanted to get, what's the DNA lab? Parabon. He wanted to give the DNA to Parabon and have them come in and test the DNA and do a genealogical deal to where they could go back, just like with Brian Kohlberger, they test the DNA and they work their way backwards instead of testing it with a known suspect because they don't have a known suspect. But the Boulder police will not release the DNA evidence that they have. Now, I'm not a father, but if I was a father, I can only imagine the pain and the anger that he must feel. Like, there's technology out there that may be able to solve this crime because we've seen genealogy work. I mean, I've seen it on, like, not even with Idaho Forum, just like in general with cases. So yeah, it would make them look really bad. Yep. I agree. Yeah, tsunami. So I wonder if they could. I wonder if the Boulder police would even do that, like put it back in there. Hey, KDP. I wonder if they would. Yeah, I wonder if they'd even do that. Her eyes are so pretty. They look pretty with that background, that green background. Oh Lordy! But I hope this case is solved because this one really needs it. This one really needs it. Yeah, they won't release the DNA, so they won't even give it to like her father. To me, I feel like that, I don't have children, but I would be like, that's mine. I don't know. I would be greedy. I would say that's my child. That's part of my child. That belongs to me. I'm going to take it somewhere else. But I mean, I guess you can't really work that way. But I know that he did have attorneys and stuff that he was working with, and stuff like that. But this is the Sun article, and it just says, that he confessed to JonBenet Ramsey's murder, was 13 houses away from her home, and made chilling appearance at vigil. Man, he's a scary looking dude. Like, oh man, I hope that there's a resolution in this case. I really, really do. I don't know if he could do a lawsuit, Mindy. Maybe you think, but I mean, technically, it's not their fault that the officers let their friends come in and let those people come in. Amanda's junk, yay! I love it. Miss Beaven said, Amanda, I'm jealous. That's awesome. I actually when I still probably say it a lot, but I used to say I guess the word like a lot. And I got a comment and it was right when I first started doing my live shows. And they were like I just said it again. They said every time I said the word like, they took a drink and they never watched my channel before. And you could tell they were super young, probably like maybe just of age to drink, if of age. And they were like, I was like, oh, let me know next time and then give me a code word and I'll say it for you. I was like, uh-oh. I was like, I might get them really drunk though. Yes, Sportsy girl. Yeah, that's what I think so too. I don't know why can't, I mean, yeah, maybe I could look into that. Why wouldn't they release it? Why can't we get them to release it? Love you too, Amanda. I'm a 10-year-old. Man, I love it. Oh, I thought Tsunami just said at Tsunami for some reason. I thought you were tsunamiing yourself. It would. I mean, okay, if you think about it, if he's not in CODIS, like let's say they run the like I mean they put the DNA in CODIS once a year, you know. But if they don't, I don't know. If he's not in CODIS, then they need to use genealogy. It's the only thing they can use. You are usually pretty quiet and laid back, and I love it. I'm here for it. Hey, Judy, with the sunglasses. I need to start wearing my shades sometimes when I get on the camera, just for fun. But then I wouldn't be able to see the chat. Never mind. That wouldn't work for me. My sunglasses are way too dark. I'm going to close out a couple of these like windows. I've got some stuff just floating around everywhere. Okay. Let me put up the next person. And we'll keep it moving. Because I know some other people have lives tonight as well. Okay, let's see if I can get a picture of all of them. No, that's too small. Let's see. I was trying to get there we go. Picture of Sarah up for us because we'll go ahead and move on to the Sarah Boone. Oh my Lord have mercy. Oh my Lord have mercy. Have mercy. So I don't know if you guys have heard of this one yet, but I do have a playlist for the JonBenet Ramsey case. So if you want like a timeline or if you just want to refresh your memory or anything like that, you can definitely check it out. It should be linked under. I should say JonBenet Ramsey. Oh yeah, the former partner of Lou Smith. Yeah, did you see about the his daughter Jennifer had come out with his tapes from the case. Wow, yeah, he is a smart man. So he was the like one of the detectives. He wasn't on the case. He was like a private. I think he was a detective at one point, and then he became like a private investigator. But this was the case he couldn't really let go. Never trust a dude with a handlebar mustache. Who else has a handlebar mustache? Someone else I thought did. Me, I'm ready for this Sarah Boone trial. I'm here for it. So they did kind of push some stuff back, but it doesn't seem like it's as much as I thought. So, man, why do I always have all kinds of windows open. But no, so if you're not familiar with this case, this is going to be Sarah Boone. You're going to want to stick around for this one. Let me tell you. So February 25th, 2020, and I do have a playlist for this as well because we've been waiting for her to go to trial for a while now. This happened February 25th, 2020. Well, it happened the 24th. So 42-year-old George Horry Jr. is the male there, and then Sarah Boone is 42 also, and that's the woman pictured. The suitcase with the arrow pointing in the back is where Jorge took his last breath. So on February 24th, on February 25th, Sarah was arrested after Jorge's body was discovered in a zipped up suitcase at the couple's Florida apartment. Sarah told police that she and Jorge had, is it Jorge? Is that how you say his name? I always say it wrong, I think. I think it's Jorge instead of George, but I think it's Jorge. Had been drinking the night before, and be careful, Amanda. Don't you, Amanda, get the suitcases away from you, girl. And look at that. We could kind of make a little joke, even though it's not that funny. It's not funny because it's, a murder. But that made me kind of giggle. She's toast, Willie said. Hey, Willie. Hey, oh, wait. Riddler comes in and comes out. I swear he does. I'm like, did we miss someone? Oh, I did it. I want to know too. Missy Minx. I want to know the clue. I didn't see that. My BF is still laughing at me. I was just reading the chat. I think it's funny. You're not familiar with this one, Wizard Wall? Oh, this one's a good one. This one is like twist and turn. This girl has had 6 attorneys. Oh, my lordy. My lordy. Welcome, everybody coming in. Hey, Cindy. I thought I saw some other. Jalen. I thought I saw someone else, but Glowbug. Thank you, Glowbug, for gifting a membership. Thank you. And everybody else, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. If you guys wouldn't mind just taking 1 second to smash that like button, it's free to do and it helps the channel. Yeah. So no, I know that they did they did handwriting testing, but I just don't know a whole lot about it. I just know that they I thought that they had matched it. They didn't match it up to her, but other people maybe thought it was. I'm gonna grab my drink real quick. Oh, goody, Glowbug. You have something to listen to. She's straight up crazy, KPP said. She really is. So they decided to play a game of hide and go seek. We've all played hide and go seek. Hey, L-Beam. You just want my DNA? I do. I just want some DNA. So that's so funny. Because every time I send out a package, I think of that. I think of sending out my DNA. Things that we think of in true crime, So basically they were drinking one night and they've always had a volatile, I guess, relationship, but this night in particular, everything was supposed to be fine. Her and Jorge were having, drinks. She said, let's play hide and go seek, or one of them said, let's play hide and go seek. Hey, Cheryl. And he got into the suitcase. So she zipped him up the next day. She called the cops. She said, oh my gosh, I zipped him up. I think I zipped him up in the suitcase, whatever, Then they find a videotape. They find a videotape of her actually recording. And he's not able to breathe. And she's swooshing him, like shh, he's going, Sarah, I can't breathe, babe. I can't breathe. We've watched the video. I think I played it once or maybe twice on the channel. I try not to play too much because it was just really bad. It was really sad. She can actually say, at one point in time, she says to him, when he's saying, Sarah, Sarah, she says, that's my name. Don't wear it out. Like, on video. Talk about busted. It's very sad, Brooklyn. That's why I didn't want to play it a lot on the channel, because it's like, I don't like hearing those. I mean, I'm one of those people, if there's like something's bad's happening, I look away. I don't like run to the face of fire. I don't run into the face of fire, or however they say that saying. Like, I'm a flighter, not a fighter anymore. There she came in. Well, I figured, I didn't know. I thought that was you. I figured it was you. Because, you wrote me before too, Cheryl. So I was like, I think that's who that is. Hey, Richie. Willie said, oh. No, Riddler's in here. Oh, something about the Idaho 4. My boyfriend said he will not play hide and go seek with me. We need you to do an experiment. Tell him that. Oh, don't you make... I'll do it. I'll do it over here, because I got a suitcase that looks like this, too. I'll be like, Vincent, get in. So would you guys do that? Okay. So if you and your boyfriend are drinking one night, I mean, how did he get into the suitcase? She couldn't have forced him in there. I mean, like, what would she force him in there with? Unless it was like a knife, because there was no gun or nothing found. I'm thinking it was a game. I kind of think it was a stupid game. But she took it to, once he was in there and it was zipped, I think that's when the game stopped. So this one, okay, so she goes for her next status hearing, July 21st, tomorrow. They pushed it back again because she wants to be in court, I guess, for the motions, which, I mean, you know, she should be. She's on attorney number 6. She's been writing the judge, saying that she wants to be there and all this stuff. And yeah, see, be like Tsunami. He's a handcuff kind of guy. You know, at least you can breathe. At least you can breathe. About this girl? About Sarah? Oh, yeah, and then she was, and did you guys see, remember the video when she's outside of the, when they're arresting her and she's drinking out of the water spigot? So Sarah Boone is beyond hungover the next day. We can all agree with that. We can all agree. We can all agree to that. So she's, the next day, she's drinking out of the water spigot. I should have brought that video up, just like a clip of it to show you. Because, I mean, it's nice to go back. I think I will, Jalen. I think I will do a JonBenet one. I think I will. I do have a playlist. Because I didn't realize we'd have that many people to come in to talk about JonBenet. Because then we could just do, we could do a whole live over her. I wouldn't mind doing that at all. I think, did we do a live? Oh, you're 4-month-old. Richie, look at that. Thanks for being with us for 4 months. Look at that. You've been putting up with us for 4 months. Wow. She said, I still don't understand how he got zipped in there when they're supposed to be playing hide and go seek. Yeah, so that was what I was going to tell you guys. Yeah, so hide and go seek, normally, one person hides, and then the other person counts to like 100 or whatever, the number you have, and then you go seek the person. You don't normally hide the person first and then go and count to 100 and then go back to then you pretend like you forgot where they were? Oh, look at that. TLC's been a member for 4 months too. I love that. Very classy, Willie. She's a classy gal. She's a classy gal. She said she didn't care if it was out of the water spigot outside the apartment. She was thirsty. I do. Yep, I do. Oh, actually, she just put it in there. Thank you. If you want to tag people, I think you just put the @ sign before their name. I think that's how you do it. I'm so bad with this stuff. So let's go over here because they did have an update today. And I was like, ooh, let's watch this together. Oh, I think they're going to show her drinking out of the water spigot too. So awesome. Because that's fresh. It's pure. Do you know how long he was inside? I don't, just Dawn. Okay, so I'm thinking, it was a while. I think she said that she went to bed around midnight. It's been a while since we've done a live on this. It's probably been a couple months. I think that she went to bed, this is what she's saying, around midnight, and then it was around like 11, no, it was like 12 or 1 the next day when she called. But she didn't even actually, now that I'm talking about the case again, I love this because then I remember, she called her ex-husband first. Do you all remember that? She called ex-husband, and Jay said, I guess they did. We're all playing hide and seek. That's exactly what they did. But yeah, so she called her ex-husband the next day, and he comes over and he looks like, he's like rational, like he's like, no, we got to call the police. So he calls the police, and then they're like, that's when they're questioning them. And he's like, it's 1 o'clock. What do you mean you just woke up? She's like, well, I didn't go to bed till like later, and I just like didn't wake up. I woke up kind of earlier, but I stayed in bed for a little bit, she said. And I'm like, wow, you didn't even go check on your man. Water from the hose hit different. Can't even blame her. It probably does when you're hungover too. We need Amanda to go take a picture of herself drinking out of the water hose tomorrow. She's in front of a hangover. That's so funny. You guys are the best. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and play this, and then we'll kind of probably pause it here and there, too, to see what's going on in her life. Oh, thank you, Rich, so much for gifting memberships. I didn't even see that. Oh, thank you so much. I don't think I saw that. No, I didn't. I'm like, man, do I need a nap or what? I'm like, no, we just did your 4-month. That's what that was. I love that. Hey, Allie. And everyone that's coming in, just to let you guys know, we just were discussing the JonBenet Ramsey case. There was a little update in that. And now we're working over to Sarah Boone. So let's see what's going on with her. And then she's supposed to go back to court, they said tomorrow, for a status hearing.
Thank you for being with us this morning, my friend. This
Hey,
is a
Brittany.
case that has really captivated a lot of interest and attention. As you were telling us earlier on the show, for any courties who might have missed it, she gets prison mail from people across the globe.
And I'm thinking from Court TV viewers, because we air over in the UK, and we'll be talking about that a little bit more. But since our last report, just within the past hour, I'm hearing from a lot of Court TV viewers, and they're blowing up Twitter. They're sending you and I both messages about this case they are watching very closely. And some of the things that everybody, including us, we are watching for to see if she is actually going to be in court today, and the role that she's going to play and how she presents herself. She has been in court not every single hearing, and she's been very upset about that. How do I know? Well, she writes the judge and she writes her attorney. She's on attorney number 6 when it comes to public defenders. Another interesting thing about this case, you know, it involves one room and a man that died in a suitcase, but there is so much evidence. There's forensic evidence, there is cell phone forensic evidence, there's going to be the background of these two, their history, and there's going to be also all of her videos explaining away what happened that night. Take a listen.
The problem is I fell asleep. I fell asleep. When did you do CPR? This morning, when I found it. Before you called? Yes! It's 1 o'clock right now. I tried. I was awake, but I actually got out of the bed at like 12:30ish, whatever. So I came downstairs, and I was like, oh, he's in the suitcase still.
All right, some of the other information with this case, we know that there is going to be a battle of the experts. The defense, they have already gotten approval from the state to spend quite a bit of money, when you think about it, on experts, including more than $7,000 for a forensic expert of their own. This is J.D. Thomas. He's the founder of Forensic Consulting Services. He'll be used as an expert. They've hired a private investigator with prison break investigations, and they're also going to be hiring an expert with domestic violence, a domestic violence psychologist. And Julie, I'm being told by our producers that are there in Florida right now, this is a bit of breaking news, she's not going to be in court today.
Wow. That's disappointing.
And I'm sure disappointing for her as well.
Yeah, wonder why. I wonder why.
I'll look into it.
Yeah, thank you kindly for that, Matt, because especially as you've told us, she wants to be very involved in her defense. She has a right to be present. I'm wondering, are they going to continue the hearing or something? I'm wondering if, are the lawyers going to be there? This makes me scratch my head.
Well, and today we were expecting to hear whether or not this trial was going to proceed sooner or later. Our sourcing telling us that this might actually be pushed to the fall. But again, we're standing by. We're going to learn more information today, of course. And we're also trying to learn more about her. We know that she's a mother. She had shared custody. Her child, her son, would spend time in that home that she lived with, where this alleged murder took place. And when we're talking about all of the correspondence, there's quite a bit. She gets quite upset when she can't attend a hearing like what we're hearing is happening today. In past, correspondence with her, again, she has past 6 attorneys and also the judges in all of this. She wrote some letters, and this involves some of that. We have some quotes for you. I would like to be a part of all proceedings that pertain to me. And then she wrote, please help me understand how Court TV, she names us, and different news channels,
she's watching, Matt.
and even professional YouTubers, she puts professional in air quotes, YouTubers attend my
Hold on. I want both of these on. I resent that, Sarah Boone. What's she saying? What is she trying to say? What the heck? She said professional. Channels, even professional YouTubers. Oh, man. Oh, who's attending them? I wonder. Is it JLR? I don't know. He's everywhere. I think he has a private jet. I swear. He's always like, he's everywhere. I'm going to take that back a minute because that's so funny.
TV, she names us, different news
Good to know
channels,
she's watching, Matt.
and even professional YouTubers, she puts professional in air quotes, YouTubers attend my pretrial conference and I cannot. So, and that's why I was saying when we first were talking about this case, why I think, how I think that the UK viewers are the ones that are reaching out to her, because she knows that Court TV is covering the case.
Yeah, who knows? We love our Court TV viewers in the UK and in the United States, so who knows? We'll see what happens here. Okay, Matt, well, thank you for that. We're going to go in live as soon as it begins. I know you're going to watch things closely with us and help us unpack it throughout the day. We'll see if we get some answers this morning. Let me bring in our guest now. We have standing by a law enforcement expert guest to do some analysis with us. He's in the Woodlands, Texas today, former DEA Senior Special Agent David Katz. David, good morning to you. Thanks for being on the program. I want to know what you think about this case. It's bizarre. And now we're hearing that she's going to be putting forth this defense of what's sometimes referred to as the battered wife defense, alleging that she's a victim of domestic violence and this all happened because of what she experienced. Tell us what you see as a law enforcement analyst, please.
You said bizarre. This is bizarre. I mean, murder by suitcase? I'm still trying to wrap my head around the idea that she actually could force this guy into the suitcase and zip it up. Was he drunk? Was he acquiescing to? I mean, I just don't get it. It's just, that is bizarre. You know, now, and you know, the fact that there are battered women who have taken steps against their abusers. I get that, and in most cases when the abuse is real, I think human beings understand that completely, and we're generally on the side of the abused person who sometimes is not served properly by the criminal justice system. But for this particular case, I mean, she's got a really uphill battle. She's going to.
Let's talk about that battered wife defense. That's probably why she has six attorneys, and she's already had 6, because no one probably knows how to defend her. How are you going to say that you're a battered person, but you have him zipped up in the suitcase where he can't move or breathe, and you don't leave the house or call the police or do any of that, you know, get out of there stuff. You don't call a friend. You don't call anyone. You don't use your lifelines. And then you wake up the next day and you're like, oh shit, he was in the suitcase. Like, I've never been that drunk. I know that, I mean, obviously, never locked Vince in a suitcase, but I don't think would ever be that drunk to be able to go to bed and not know that I had somebody. You know, yeah, it's crazy. I played hide and seek last night with my wife. I hid in the oven. You would too. Next time, take a picture of that. Get a tripod set up so you can, yeah, we got to see that. We're not going to believe it unless we see it. That's you're in the oven. Because I really could see, like, I know that this is weird, but I could see it being a game. I could almost see it being a game where, you know, she gets in first and she's like, oh yeah, like, see, I can fit in the suitcase. Like, I could just like see like, oh, can you fit in the suitcase? Do you think you can fit in the suitcase? Like, I don't know. They're drunk. She goes in the suitcase, gets out, everything's cool. Then maybe that's what makes him get into the suitcase, because he's like, okay, she tried it. Obviously it's fine. And then I think that's when she locked him up in it. And now there is speculation that she tossed him down the stairs while he was in the suitcase. And if you, in that picture, I'll show it again real quick. This one here, if you can see the picture in the back of the suitcase, you can tell that it's on, like it's back, not its front. Like the handle is up here. So like there was no way he was going to be able to get out of this thing. There was just no way he was going to be able to get out. Even if he could get, it unzipped a little, he wouldn't be able to get out. Which I also didn't know until like we started this case that the inside doesn't have a zipper. I thought it was double zippered. I don't know why suitcases are not double zippered. Just based on the fact that things can happen with like children, I would just be, that scares me. So let me see here. How small was the guy? Okay, so he was he was pretty small. You can tell if you look at him right here, you can tell his face is real skinny. He was small. He was probably 145, 150 maybe. 5'10" or something, 5'9". He was pretty small. I mean, I think he was pretty small. Hey, Sleuthy, how are you? I'm pretty sure the prosecution will prove his injuries are consistent with being tossed down the steps. Yeah, I'm thinking so too. That's scary. But I'm just wondering how he got in there. That's the only thing I can come up with is you get in there, like, I got in, like, I don't know. I can just see it sitting there. And which I don't know why it would be sitting out. But if it was sitting out, I could see her saying like, oh, can you fit in the suitcase, babe? Or, he was like, oh, can you fit in there? And then she gets in. It's cool. She gets out. He gets in. She zips it up. And then I think she took advantage of the situation. Make a suitcase you can unzip from the inside. Yeah, Shauna, that's what they need. I always thought they had a double zipper, like on the inside and then the outside. I don't know why I didn't. And I travel, but I just never paid attention to that. That's crazy. So, okay, I'll go back over here and we'll play this. But yeah, I don't think that battered wife is going to help her.
I have to say that, or try to make the case that the only reason she took this guy, stuffed him in a suitcase, let him slowly suffocate to death, is the fact that there's some prior abuse. Well, she's going to have to substantiate that. Is she going to have police reports? Has she made complaints? Has she made statements? Has she gone to the hospital? Is it emotional abuse? This is going to be a very, very tough road. So it's bizarre.
It really is. David, thank you for that. I've got more questions for you. I have a clip I want to play. This clip to me is pretty telling because this is right after police are called, they're on the scene. And one of the first things she says to the officer she's speaking with is how she has concern that George Torres's family is going to think she killed him.
So, like, do you guys tell his family, like, today or after tomorrow? We have to. It's the law.
We have to go make contact with the family.
Yeah.
They have to be notified.
Once our investigation is pretty much complete here, once we leave here, we will be going to...
But again, you'll know. We're not going to just go and do it without you knowing. You'll know. We'll talk to you prior to doing anything like that.
But how, I understand what you guys and how you do it, and, so, but, like, what are you just telling him? What do you tell his parents? Like, what's the reason he passed away?
We tell them what we know at that point.
Yeah.
We tell them the truth.
And that we're going to be waiting for the autopsy results, and I will be at the autopsy in the morning, and hopefully the doctor will be able to give me some of what they think and see.
Yeah. We'll give them their number. They can contact them and get it from them.
But yeah, they're gonna know what we're here, what we're investigating, and that
they're gonna think I killed him.
Why would they think that?
They always have said that. They've always have said that.
What have they
I
said?
told you it's because I'm the blue-eyed white dragon. That's what they call me. Because they don't want him with me. So he's basically just not really been around his family because he chooses me over them. Even after I've encouraged him numerous times to go over there and see his family.
Okay, David, tell me, what did you think watching her with that, please?
I thought the same thing you thought. I was like, why would the parents just jump to the conclusion that I killed him? Well, let me guess, what could be that? What could be that reason? Her demeanor when she's being interviewed. I mean, the earlier clip too, when the cop says, "Well, when did you start CPR?" The morning when I found him. It's 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
I mean,
after she went to bed, huh?
I
Yeah. It's incredible to me how he's begging for help, begging for mercy, pleading for his life, saying he can't breathe.
Tsunami, you were right. You're right. I forgot. We're gonna have to rewatch this this interview, like this interaction, because it's been a couple months and that made me laugh really hard. He said all Sarah Boone was hoping for was a bottled water after an hour and a half. She said, "Screw it, I'm going straight to the hose." She really did. She kept asking, "Do you have a water? Do you have a water? Do you have a water?" And then she like the cop was like looking at the husband like, "Do you have a bottled water for your ex-wife?" If I was the ex-husband, I would have been like, "Can I go to the store and get her a water?" And I'd have been out because it was crazy. It was so crazy. Oh yes, Luthi. Yeah. She said her being on camera both here when it happened and her interrogation are going to convict her for sure. I don't even know why she just doesn't plead out to something. She's really holding her own though. Over 3 years. She's out for damn mind, Willie said. She realized she goes straight for the spigot. I hope they show that on this.
Breathe and she could go to bed. I mean, I'm thinking more like passed out. What do you think, David? They seem like there was a lot of drinking involved.
I mean, it's tough. I mean, she's clearly indifferent to his plight. I can't imagine being inebriated to the point where I'd say, I know I had something to do, and gosh, I forgot. Oh yes, I got it now. Unzip my boyfriend in the suitcase. I mean, this is just nuts. So, I don't know if they've done an evaluation on this woman to see if she's sociopathic, but I'm gonna go with she went to sleep indifferent to his plight until I have some reason to believe otherwise.
Mm-hmm. David Katz, so glad we have you on the program. Stand by for more questions if you would, please. We're going to squeeze in a break. We're being told that the judge is calling some other cases ahead of Sarah Boone. So we're getting ready. We're not going to miss any of hers, I promise. We're going to see what happens when the attorneys convene. This is Court TV Live, your front row seat to justice.
When Alyssa
They're gonna play the judge, or next when it comes up, the judge is gonna talk. Let me know if you guys have been watching this. I don't know how much of her trial has really been broadcast because she's just going through motion hearings, but the judge in this case, I don't know. I don't know, but I think that the lawyer was funny as crap on the TV. He was like, "Service with a smile," because they're all like, "We're back in court for Sarah Boone," So it's kind of I think it's an ongoing joke.
I've made some other inroads with battered women's shelters, trying to get their psychologists, who'd be willing. Problem is willing to testify, basically.
Okay. Because of the concern about the compensation rate for testimony?
Well, that's one of the things, and to be honest with you, this case has had so much notoriety that people don't want to be involved.
Thanks for staying with us here at Court TV Live. I'm Julie Grant. One of the claims coming from Sarah Boone's defense team is that she was a victim of domestic violence at the hands of her boyfriend, Jorge Torres, who we know was killed in the Suitcase incident. So how might this come into play at trial? And what evidence is there of these domestic violence claims? Well, our Court TV team has been poring over documents and was managing to piece together a bit of a picture of their relationship that had lots of ups and downs.
Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Sarah Boone.
45-year-old Sarah Boone is charged with the murder of her boyfriend, George Torres. She's accused of zipping him up into a suitcase and leaving him there until he suffocated. But this wasn't the first time police were summoned to the couple's home. Court documents show they had a history of domestic violence.
At one point, I started documenting everything. Okay. So you all will see in my pictures bloody fingers, split foreheads, he split my nose.
Sarah Boone and George Torres began dating in March of 2016. After her arrest, allegedly for Torres's death, police interrogated Boone about their relationship that was often marred by violence.
So every time that you guys fight, you both hit each other? So you should have probably gone to jail all those times that he went to jail for domestic? Oh, the one time I did.
In July of 2018, after a call to police, Torres told an officer that Boone strangled him until he was having trouble breathing. But she told police he dragged her up the stairs and kicked her. Both of them had injuries. Boone was arrested for aggravated battery by strangulation, and Torres was arrested for battery. Then in June of 2019, another report of domestic violence. Police noting Boone had red marks on her face and her neck. This time, only Torres was arrested for battery.
I had him arrested how many times?
But you also went down and bailed him out.
I know.
In August of 2019, Torres is again arrested for battery. This after Boone called 911, and both of them appeared to have minor injuries. According to the police report, Boone repeatedly says she is fed up with being hit. A week later, Torres is arrested again for allegedly hitting Boone. They've both been drinking, and when police arrive, Torres is hiding in the bathroom. Less than 6 months later, Torres is dead after being left in a suitcase for hours. According to Boone, they were drinking and playing hide and seek. Police say Boone is to blame. They've charged her with second-degree murder.
Oh my, what a history these two have, huh? I want to bring back in my law enforcement expert guest. He's a retired DEA senior special agent and now the founder and CEO of Global Security Group, David Katz, on the program with us today. David, my goodness, what do you think hearing about this history between the two of them?
This is a match made in heaven. I mean, you know, we're all very much aware and very sensitized to abuse cases where the man is beating the woman, where the woman is either unable to leave, there's children involved, she's economically dependent upon the abuser. But there are cases, and unfortunately there are more than we think, where either the abuse goes the other way or it's mutual abuse. We see that frequently. So, you know, just the dynamic between these two is toxic, and yet what do? They keep living together. Just, you know, you wonder why people do the things they do, and you know, if I could answer that question, I would be in great demand at solving these problems. But goodness gracious.
Right, David. I mean, there are even Facebook groups that are just made to discuss this case. There's so much interest in it. Our Matt Johnson was discovering all of these as he was doing research and reporting on this case for us. And I mean, look at all of them. These are just people just interested in just her case alone. And as I said at the start of our show this morning at 8 a.m., I can't even tell you, if I had a nickel for every time I got a message of what's going on with the Suitcase murder trial, I mean, I'd be rich. And I think I have an indication of what's going on. She is a difficult client. This is lawyer number 6 representing her, David. Lawyer number 6. And so that naturally, as you know, David, will postpone the progression of the case because each new lawyer has to get up to speed again and again and again. It's like they're all starting from square one and reviewing all of the pieces of evidence. We're still waiting. The judge is on some other cases, so I have time to show you another clip. This is a clip going back to that history, but this is from the perspective of Sarah Boone's ex-husband, who we know she called before she even called police. She called him when she got Jorge, her boyfriend, unzipped from that suitcase. Take a listen to what he told police.
Got over here, told her she needed to call 911, get somebody over here, and then basically she said she needed to go out.
If I was this guy, I would say, thank goodness I'm not small enough to fit in a suitcase. Because this is her ex-husband. It's the one she called over instead of calling the cops.
Outside, have a drink and a cigarette.
Do you know if he has any medical issues or?
I don't.
Okay, but you've met him before.
I've met him before, yes.
Okay.
Yes, they've got a whole fun history.
Oh, really?
Oh, you guys have called over this way.
For the two of them?
Yeah, he's been arrested like 5 times against her, so.
Really? Okay, I'm not familiar with. I haven't been here personally.
It's.
So they have
He's currently on parole because of it, so.
Because of domestic violence with her.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes, from last time he got whatever it's like retrial something or other. He had to go to a domestic violence class.
Okay.
I know he was doing it, a parole officer, stuff like that. But I mean, like every time she'd have him arrested, the next day she was trying to get him bailed out too. So I don't know what it is.
Oh my! And David, the thing that jumped out at me here, you know, and I'm a layperson, you know, and I'm watching this. If I'm the police officer and you're hearing, he says he had to tell her to call 911. Like she didn't think to do that. Oh my God, my boyfriend's dead. I need to try to get some help here. He looks like he's not breathing or alive. I mean, what do you think, David?
Well, I mean, people sometimes do things when they're under extreme stress that are weird or may appear inappropriate or even suggest consciousness of guilt. You know, so the fact that she may have just called him prior to 911, you know, that you know, you can cut that either way. I mean, she could easily be in the mental state where I don't know what to do. I wake up and I don't mean to make light of it, but I
This is actually a better picture of the suitcase. So you can see the handle where the handle comes out the back of the suitcase. So he literally is on top of the zipper. So if, let's say, because she says she thought there was like a small hole or something like that he could get out. Even if there was a small enough hole to put his fingers through, like a couple fingers, he's not going to be able to slide the zipper because his weight's going to be on the bag. So, and he can't pick himself up if he's in the suitcase. You can't roll, you know, they're top heavy. You ever notice when you have like your suitcase, especially at the airport when you have stuff in it, you stop it and if it's not like a hard suitcase, it's one of these, it's like topples over every time. Yeah, so that's what we're thinking, Amanda. Yeah, a lot of people think that she threw him down, like she threw the suitcase down the stairs because he had like abrasions all over him. Oh, thank you, Summer, for gifting a membership. Thank you. That was so nice. And look at that. Willie. He needed it. He needed that. You're free, Willie. You're free. You can get out of the oven now. Oh, he might have, yeah, tried to like hop it over. You would think. I mean, I don't. Oh, it's crazy. Oh, you don't have Wi-Fi? Cat's life? Oh, man. Free Willy. Free Willy. No baby koalas are going to be kicked or hurt today. Slow chat makes me want to punch a koala or something. It did make me laugh, though. I don't think that she was able to pick it up, but I think, yeah, I definitely think she could have pushed it out the stairs. I agree. Yeah, Michael, yeah. With all, he said, with much respect, I kind of feel bad for this lady. I can see where she said she's innocent, but the problem is with all the bruises, she says, yeah, it's over. Oh, Miss Linda, look at that. Hey, Miss Linda, look at you with your rainbow arm. How are you doing? How are you doing? It's been forever. I hope you're doing good. Hey, Tammy. Hey, hippie chick. Oh, that's okay. Better late than never. They should have solved the tipping suitcase crisis by now. And it's 2023. Exactly. They should. I think I still have a suitcase like that. Best believe I'm getting me a new one before vacation. One with a zipper on the inside. I have heard of these before. Like these cases where, not this. This is crazy. But I've heard of like cases where people have shipped themselves like in a plane to another country. You know, or they try to come into this country. I've seen like episodes of shows that have done that. And I just really didn't realize they didn't have a zipper on the inside. Mike said, oh, the suitcase, don't get in. Yeah, don't get in. If you see it. Oh, thanks, Jan, for gifting a membership. That's so nice. Look at that, True Crime and Other Stuff got herself a membership. Summer said, I was secretly hoping it would go to him. I figured you probably were, because he said he didn't like it. He didn't like the slow mode. It's like every time you do that, that actually goes to the person. I tried, oh, that's because Isabel didn't have her gifts on that one time. I kept trying to gift a membership to Isabel. I was like, it'll go to her this time. It'll go to her this time. It shouldn't have her allow gifts on. So we gifted like 40 memberships. It was fun, though. Okay, this is almost over too, so.
I've got my boyfriend dead in a suitcase. My God, what should I do? Or it could very well be the other way, that, okay, now I gotta figure a way around this situation, come up with some story. And, she calls the ex to get some guidance to maybe figure out a way to add normalcy to this case that, as we've both agreed, is quite bizarre.
Yeah, it sure is. Well said, David. Oh my gosh, I just still can't wrap my mind around how all of this happened. And what else is bizarre is that he had blunt force trauma to his head. He had scratches on his neck and his back. And so what really happened before he wound up zipped up in the suitcase?
Well, that like shut off really quick. I was trying to get it before I did that. Nuh-uh. Shipped himself from Cuba to Miami. Nuh-uh. Oh, his name was Esteban? Is that your dad's name, Esteban? Oh, I love that name. He really did that? Because I've heard of that. Wow, your dad was smart, though. He had some air supply or something. He wasn't messing around. This made me laugh because I wasn't thinking of your dad as ship a container, but I kind of was. It kind of spun off from that and made me giggle a little bit. But me and Vincent were watching the news the other day, and this isn't funny, but it is. They're like documenting, they're like down by the border, and there's this huge like fence, like this huge wall built, from the US for Mexico now. And you can just see these people jumping over the fence, like scaffolding it. Like they've got rope and they're just like going down the side of it. It made me laugh so hard because it was just like, they're just getting their exercise in. They're still coming over here. The lady's just doing the news and they're just jumping the fence. Oh man, that made me laugh thinking of that, because me and Vincent both looked at the TV. We looked at each other and we just started laughing. We were just like, what? So crazy. So crazy. So crazy. Ms. Linda, that's so crazy to see your arm, that rainbow arm in here, because not a lot of people have the rainbow arm yet. Oh, well, I'm glad that you're here, and always come into chat. Even if it's crazy, we'll kick everyone out. That's crazy. Miss Linda's the OG of this channel. I like that name, Esteban. Well, man, I would have really liked to meet your dad. He probably had some stories. Hey, his homeboy had a boat and dropped him off in a shipping container. I love it. I love it. I love that. I know it was probably hell for your dad, but he probably just appreciated it once he was here. Probably, You get yours in 5 days, Summer? Vincent should be getting his. He should have it. He hasn't been here to say, like, he got his arm. I'm surprised because he's been, like, talking about it. Oh, hey, Shell. It's okay. She said she's late, but that is okay. Welcome in, everybody that's been coming in. So we'll go ahead and move on to the last thing we were going to kind of discuss. Let's see here. I'm going to see. I don't think any documents came out today. I didn't get an email from Jan. Okay. I refreshed the page right before the live, just because with Idaho, it seems like every evening we've been getting documents. So. Oh, I got deported 7 years later. But that's 7 years he was here. Man, though, that's crazy. I bet it was a crazy experience. Wow. That's amazing. You didn't see any either, Jana? I didn't either. That is amazing, though. So Sarah's, it's crazy because my computer is like a little bit off, but my iPad's faster in the chat. That was really weird. So she's going to be in court tomorrow, I guess, for a motions hearing. So we'll see if that happens and what happens from there. But I know that she was supposed to start her trial in June. I think June 24th or something like that, but then they didn't end up doing it. Did I miss something? No, I think Willie's talking to Riddler. Nancy said, wow, Brooklyn, that's called determination. It is. And I love that his name is Esteban. I like that name. Okay, so I'm a little slow, but let me get my notes. Where are we at? Where are we at tonight, guys? Well, I'm in Ohio. I don't know where you guys are, but you thought it was July. Maybe it was July. Maybe it's supposed to start on the 21st. Maybe. You know what? I had this pinned. I had the court dates up, like even Kohlberger's was still June 26th, and I took the paper down because I was like, oh, I'm going to put it on a Google document, like, you know, all the court dates. And I did, but I don't know where I put it. So let's see. I probably won't be able to find it, but I think it was supposed to be, oh, right here. Sarah Boone, July 24th. That's what it says. So I don't know. Because they had one today, and then, well, they're supposed to have one tomorrow. And she wants to be there for it. So I'm wondering, Olivia, I think, maybe it's the device. Summer's good at knowing that. I think because on mine, like on my iPad, I can't do it. But I don't know if mine's the same as your guys's. They moved it to September. Thank you, Debbie. They did. And I don't know why I didn't write that down. Because then tomorrow, okay, so then tomorrow is like, it's just like a motions hearing for her for tomorrow. It's nothing. I think it's just, I don't know. We were just listening to all that too, and I'm just like, blah, my brain is like just shut down on me. Let's see. Let's see exactly what it says, maybe, if we can. Gotta go feed the tribe. Aw. Have a good evening, Shauna. Thank you for coming. Let's see. Sarah Boone, next hearing. It just says next status hearing. Oops. Let's see if I can find it. It says it's it says next status hearing in the case is set for July 21st. Doesn't really say. Oh, thanks, Mike, for being a member for 2 months. You're welcome. Thank you. Look at that. I love that. Thank you, Jan. I'm really bad at doing that. I had to do it I had to become a member again over in CCL's chat because I was like, I'm not a member anymore, and I didn't realize that. So I had to go to the actual web browser. Okay, so I'm gonna pull this up here. Where did I put my notes on? So last night, I don't know if you guys were in the live last night, but they did. There's a new update, I guess you would call it, in the Idaho 4 case. I talked about it right at the end, but people were kind of leaving the chat because we were getting off of the chat to go over to another creator's chat. So I don't know if everybody got to hear this part of it. So, and I know a lot of people were, a lot of people were worried about the house staying up in the Idaho 4. So, the house on King Road. So I wanted to bring this to your all's attention. And then I have a little news clip too to play. Let me see here. I'm like, where's it at? Okay. So I'll just read through this article real quick. It says, University of Idaho delays demolition of King Road house. It says the house where 4 college students were brutally murdered won't be demolished until October, according to the University of Idaho. The off-campus rental home at 1122 King Road in Moscow, Idaho, was the center of a massive quadruple murder investigation in the November 13th stabbing deaths of Kayla Gonzalez, Xana Kernodle, Ethan Chapin, and Madison Mogan. Remediation, I can't say that word very well. Remediation of the house will continue, according to a statement from the university. Kohlberger, who is accused of killing the 4 students, declined to enter a plea in court, electing to remain silent at his arraignment last month. That choice led the judge to enter not guilty pleas for the murder and burglary charges Kohlberger is facing. We know that every action and decision around this horrific incident is painful and invokes emotions. That is why every decision we have made this far with the families of the victims and our students, that's not what it says. Okay. That is why every decision we have made this far is with the families of the victims and our students in mind, said Scott Green, the University of Idaho president. While we look forward to removing this grim reminder of this tragedy, we feel holding until October is the right thing to do. Emails obtained by the New York Times indicate, we read through those emails, indicate that both the defense attorney for the accused killer, Brian Kohlberger, and the lead prosecutor have given their consent for the house to be demolished. Earlier this month, crews started to clean out personal items from the house. The university will make those items available discreetly and respectfully to the families in the coming weeks, according to the statement. We appreciate how so many have responded with empathy and patience, Green added. The university will continue to work towards creating the Vandal Healing Garden and Memorial. This student-driven project will serve as a permanent reminder of the victims and include a garden space for reflection. So I know that a lot of people were, just kind of like concerned and worried that was going to, go on with the house. So rest assured, it is there. Hello, Justine. Hello, Tiffany. If I missed anybody, sorry, I was reading on the other screen. But so they're going to keep the house up till October. The trial starts, it's supposed to start October 2nd, but they've already have a 37-day stay. So what I'm thinking is that the university they're trying to play nice. And they probably know, just like we know, that there's probably only a small chance that this is going to go to trial in October. Like we just looked at 2 other cases. One isn't even solved. It's been 26 years. Sarah Boone, that happened February 24th, 2020. We're still waiting on her to go to trial. This is a DP case. I don't see it happening in October. I hope it does. I hope it does. But I'm thinking that the school is like trying to play nice, because they don't want everybody to like be on them. But do you think that they keep pushing back the demo? Do you think they'll keep pushing back the demo if it doesn't go to trial in October? Or do you think they're going to say, okay, well, we gave it to October. Let's go ahead and go on with the demolition? Yeah, Brooklyn. Yeah, waiting till October is not a bad idea. Because I think then the school has every right, like if they say, well, it's not going to trial now, then they'll have every right to say, well, then we're going to go ahead and, tear the building down. And then the school doesn't look so bad because they're like, well, we waited. Yeah. I think that I think that they want it gone too. I think that maybe that's what they're trying to do now. They're just kind of saying like, oh yeah, we'll give you guys till October. Take your time. And then I think when October gets here, and if this case isn't maybe even before October, we might find out they may, reject their decision. But I don't think that I wanted to look that up actually. Let me look that up real quick. I want to see, I heard that their enrollment is up, but then I've heard from other people the enrollment at University of Idaho is down. I might have to Like, let's see. Unless you guys know. Me too, Brooklyn. Yeah, if it's not down by October, or if that's not, trial isn't by October, yeah, then I would just tell them, probably, yeah, just to go ahead and do what they need to do, because it would be crazy to leave it up just if this doesn't go to, trial, then, like, it's hard, because that's real hard. I was trying to read this. It says something like, before November 13th, the U of I was in the middle of a fall semester. In August 1951, first-year students convened on campus. The largest freshman class in school history, drove an overall 1.8% enrollment increase. And then, does it say after? Because it was up 1.8%. Seeing if I could find any more. Wow, this might be like a good article to read. They got $1 million from the governor for unexpected cost for ISP patrols and expanded student counseling. So it looks like they made $1 million. Okay, maybe I'll play this video. Maybe we can go through this. This is just a lot, actually. Wow. Okay, sorry guys. I was like trying to read that through that like real quick, but yeah. They're still admitting for the fall. Oh, okay, Patty Q. Maybe that's why they don't have the numbers. I'm gonna make dinner and listen. What are you making? I'm kind of getting hungry. Well, we did a whole live over what they have. I mean, they have plenty of video and everything. They're not, so the defense is saying that, Willie. The defense is saying, trust us, jury. It's not the prosecution. It's both. Your girl Ann Taylor said she doesn't need the house. So, like, she'll be telling the jurors, in fact, that she doesn't need it. That's what I would think. Oh, Willie, you're going to owe me so much money. You're going to be, oh, man, you better start saving. Better start saving up some money, Willie. He said he's going to give me $20,000. The whole PCA is what the police gathered. They don't just make it up. Take a picture. 40 now, Summer. And I'm a woman of my word. I'm going to be on your front doorstep. They better make this trial in October. Because even if it's 3 years from now, you're going to see me, Willie. You may not be here anymore, but I'm going to remember you, Willie. You might not be here anymore, Willie, in a few years, and I'm going to say, Willie, give me my money now. Give me my money, Willie. What body cam? Oh, I'm not. You're not. Are you watching more fake stuff? Yeah, that Brian walks. 40. Yep, got it legally. Thank you. Send that over to the lawyer. People's just been out there watching a whole bunch of just like not true footage. So I didn't know if there's more footage that was out there because you said body cam. So I was assuming that there was some sort of other video out there now. What is that, Willie? What are you trying to say to me? Yeah, you do that. Yeah. Thanks, Summer.
If you look at the house in Idaho, the house is evidence. The outside of the house, the parking lot, the streets around it, the ways you can get in, the ways you can get out, the interior, all of that is evidence. What do we think the jury will have an easier time or a more difficult time in getting to the truth by not going to the scene of the crime? It's going to be more difficult. You can take 1 million pictures and 1 million videos. It is a much different experience and a much deeper understanding for everything when you've actually been there. It's in the job that I do every night. It's the same way. When I was in the studio covering the Murdaugh case, yeah, I'm covering and I'm listening to every piece of testimony, every exhibit, everything. Then when I'm down there in the low country and I drive those country roads and I walk the grounds outside of Murdaugh's house and I can see and hear, what a difference. I came back from there, I was like, all right, I get it. I get it, how nobody else could have done it. And that was the truth. And the jury got to see that, amazingly. But in this case, it's not going to happen. I want you to take a listen to Steve Gonzalez. This is Kaylee's father, one of the victims. And he's been very clear about what he and some of the families want in this case.
We communicated with some other families. There's 3 families that are concerned with that. We're trying to make sure that, that all the proper steps are done. There's audio, that from my understanding, and if there's audio, I don't understand how you could take a house down and not say that people are going to want to hear those sounds from the location of the recording from inside the house, dog barking, things like that. So we'll try to do everything, and something like that is just evidence. It's not for or against, it's just evidence, so that's why we're trying to protect it.
It's evidence. Evidence to help the jury get to the truth, which is what every victim wants, right? You want the truth to come out in court. You want the jury to get it. Here's a statement from the University of Idaho. This is a new statement. The University of Idaho will delay, but only until October, the demolition of the King Road house. Remediation of the house, including lead and asbestos abatement, continues in preparation for demolition. So it's going down. It's going to happen this fall. The house is getting knocked down this fall. So, as first reported by the New York Times, we now have the emails as well. Emails from the prosecution and the defense on this exact issue. Shocking to me. Take a listen. Take a look. This is a prosecution email on this demolition. The scene has been substantially altered from its condition at the time of the homicides, including removal of relevant property and furnishings. Happens in most cases, folks. Removal of some structural items such as a wall board and flooring, and subjected to extensive chemical application, creating a potential health hazard. What chemical application? I want to know. These are some of the reasons we have concluded that a jury view would not be appropriate. Okay? They can also look at the outside of the house and all the roads and the way in, the way out, what you can see from where. But that's, you know, it's not the whole story I'm reading there. Here's what the defense said. And the defense doesn't have the same obligation to the truth that the prosecution does. So I don't hold them up to any of the same standards that I do prosecutors, because they have a much different job. I'm writing to let you know that the defense has no objection to the university proceeding as it sees fit with the residents on King Road. Previously, the defense agreed to release the property. Upon communication with the university, we were asked to weigh in on demolition of the premises. We appreciate the accommodation of one final walkthrough. After the walkthrough, our team has discussed the demolition of the premises again and have no objection. They have no objection. But to me, remember, the defense and prosecution have different jobs. The defense is to do everything and anything to defend someone. The prosecution's job is the truth, because the truth is justice. It's not to win. Whatever the truth is, it is. Your job is to bring that out in court. Okay, So where are we with all this? Let's bring in our guest joining us tonight from Seattle, Washington. Great reporter from the New York Times, broke this whole story with the emails. Mike Baker's with us. And joining us from Orlando, Florida, great friend of the show, friend of mine, jury consultant and human behavior expert, Susan Constantine is back with us. Thank you both. Mike, let me start with you. What is there more to this story? A lot of us are very, very shocked by the fact that prosecutors and/or the defense, everybody wants this thing demolished out there. What did you find out, Mike?
Yeah, I think the whole question from the prosecution is there a benefit to some sort of jury visit? You mentioned the Murdaugh case where there was a lot of benefit to see the layout of the property, the distances between where things were. Cases like the Michael Peterson case, your viewers might remember that from North Carolina, where the infamous staircase was, and a chance to go see that staircase. Jurors actually walked up the individual steps, looked back to see, could they fall? Could they stop themselves from falling by reaching for a banister? And is there a benefit in this case to actually bringing the jury in, or has the scene been altered so much that it might actually be not beneficial? You read those emails. The prosecutor talked about, removing wallboard, removing flooring. The furnishings are gone, so sound doesn't necessarily travel in the same way. In the building, it doesn't necessarily look the same way as it did when the killings happened. So does the jury actually get a full picture if they go in? At the same time, Steve Gonsalves is really insistent that why take the chance? If there's a chance the jury might want to come in there and see what the scene is, to understand if there's a dispute over something that actually showing the jurors what this building looks like, why take the chance of getting rid of it now? I think it's an interesting debate in that point.
Mike, you gave a great example, that staircase. I was on that staircase before the jury was there. And the moment I walked in there, I was like, oh my God. I mean, it was eye-opening. It made my reporting on the story so much different because it's a deeper understanding. We saw the pictures, the videos. It's not the same as walking those steps. And in that case, seeing the bloodstains that were there. All right, Susan. So again, jury consult. It's up to a jury to always in these cases to figure out what the truth is. I've got to think most jurors want to go to the scene, and it's got to be helpful. But you're the expert. What do you think?
Well, I'm going to go back into my teaching that I train attorneys, and that is that in a 12-panel jury, 7 of them will be visual, 3 will be experiencing, and 1 they want to be able to see, and the other ones are going to be more auditory. So when you take that into consideration, that's telling me that most people want to see what they've been hearing. They also want to experience it. And proxemics, like we were talking about, going up the staircase, there's a huge difference between knowing what that distance is, but actually walking those stairs and feeling the environment. That's what brings it to life. Right now, it looks like the House of Horrors, and we don't know that if the jurors went there, what would occur. We did run into some problems with that in the Murdaugh case. But on the other hand, I think that they want to experience what they've been hearing so they can get into the reality of it and not think of it as just a horror story.
And you talk about the spaces. Mike, this is a case where I believe from the affidavits that we've read that one of the surviving roommates actually sees someone. They've got a mask on. They see the eyes, the way they're dressed. And just to understand the distance between where the witness is and where the alleged killer is and where the bodies are, to me, is enough. And, in the O.J. Simpson case, they went back. They visited some scenes there as well. Yeah, O.J. decorated them a little bit differently than they were before, but they still got the idea of what the layout was. In the Parkland school case, they went back to the school. It's not filled with students, so it's never exactly the same. But I think Susan makes a good point about just the distances between rooms and everything. I've seen a million pictures of this place. I still don't feel like I've walked through there. I know I've looked at realty sites. I've looked at drawings. I've heard descriptions, but I don't know if the jury's going to get the real feel for where all these rooms are.
Yeah, I think that
Yeah,
you're talking
I
to
think
me.
that's true.
That was to Mike, Susan. That's
If you
okay.
showed a
Go ahead,
3D
Mike.
model.
Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you show 3D model, let the jurors look through a 3D model of this and walk through sort of virtually, is that enough? To your point, it feels like, being there in that place is just a different experience to understand where things are. I did want to add, though, like the other dynamic that's at play here is what this campus is feeling, and what the people around it constantly seeing, essentially tourists coming through to visit this property. And feeling that sort of a disgust of that level of interest in the property. And then I did speak with the family of Ethan Chapin, and they're battling this situation where yeah, they do feel like this is really rushed to go toward demolition. At the same time, they've got two children still at the university. One of them has a window from their room that looks out over this property. Both of them walk by it every day. And so for them, that's obviously a big challenge in their process of not having this forced on their face all the time, and in the process of healing, and sort of like balancing those interests of healing in the community and the university and the campuses and these people, versus what's necessary here, especially when the prosecution is saying we don't anticipate using it.
Yeah, and I get it, and that was my fear all along, that's the real driving force behind the demolition. It's about this very small community. This is the most horrific thing that's ever happened there. But I go back to talking about Parkland. That was horrific in that community. That building is much larger. All those.
I forgot to bring that up, and I think it was Shell, you made a good point. So the house actually has asbestos in it. That's what they've been clean. I guess that's what they're trying to clean out a little bit before they do the demolition. But yeah, you can't have people go into a house that has asbestos. But I mean, it ain't going to kill them at the same time. I mean, that was a bad choice of words. Sorry, guys. But because when I went to school, like my high school, this is so bad. They should have probably been sued. But my high school decided to build a new school while we were inside the school. And they tore down like the walls. They tore down the ceilings. This school was like 100 years old. It had asbestos everywhere. And they were just like, let the kids come in. Whatever. I left that school in 10th grade and we still didn't have a new school. And I was there from 4th grade. It was bad. So I'm wondering, asbestos. That's usually like in your walls and stuff. I'm wondering if that's why, remember they had somebody come to look at the heating and the heating vents and stuff? I'm wondering if that's the reason why someone came in and checked out the heating vents. I'm wondering, I grew up in trailers, asbestos built character. In my opinion, Brooklyn said, it would be fine, huh? Because it really does. I mean, I don't think it would be bad if you just walked in one time. But that could be a liability, Yeah, I wonder if that's why the landlord dumped it. Probably was like, this building's old as dirt. Because I mean, it would have to be really old to have asbestos in it. Oh, and the floor tile. Ooh. Patty Q heard it was in the floor tile. Oh, wow. That's crazy. I'll keep playing this, though. Yeah, but thank you for reminding me of that. I forgot that they had said that. It's crazy. 70s, Legendary said? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because that's when all that lead paint and stuff was bad, right? Yeah, my school was old as dirt. This school was like 100 years old. This thing was old. They just, Yeah, I wonder how old that house is. Because, it started off as a one-story, Summer said, yeah. And then they just built onto it. I guess they never went back and checked the rest of their work. Oh, you're welcome. Have a good night, True Crime. Being boarded up with bloodborne pathogens are sickening. Yeah, it is. Ooh. Now This is a crazy one. This is a crazy case. We're going on 8 months. Actually, what's today? Oh, my Lord have mercy. 8 months today. 8 months. That's a long time, y'all. That's longer than I've been in true crime. Like I've only been in true crime not even a year. Wow. Okay, so, let me see. 50 to 80s floor tile had asbestos in it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That. Ooh. I didn't miss it. Oh, she was me. I'll say not to me. Never mind. Okay, I'm gonna play this rest of this.
Those parents, families, kids, everyone was driving past it for years. But that was a death penalty case. I believe this will be a death penalty case. Death penalty cases are litigated like no other case in our country. There is no case that is more thoroughly litigated than a death penalty case. And whether the defense right now says it's okay, I'll guarantee you if there's a conviction, that appeal, it'll be listed as one of the issues. They destroyed the scene of the crime. The jury never got to see it. Counsel was inept. They shouldn't have waived that right. All of that comes into play. That's why the short emotional game, from my perspective, as much as I feel for all those kids and all those families, just like in Parkland, I know the feeling's even worse when the jury comes back and utters those two words, not guilty, or the conviction gets overturned on appeal because of something like that. Susan, what do you think, and we've been there through so many of these cases, for me, it's almost like buying a house. You go house hunting these days. We go on the websites. And Mike made a great point about the 3D render. They all have these things. I'm still not buying that house until I walk in there and see it, because it can be so different. So different when you walk through it.
Yeah, I mean, it's no different than if you're going on vacation, right? You're looking at online and you're looking at a vacation spot and you think, oh, this literally looks like a great place to go. You get there and you're going, wait a minute, this isn't exactly what it looked like when it was on, on the internet. So I think it's really important. I agree with you, Vinny. I don't really understand what the harm is. Keep it up until afterwards, because if this goes on to appeal and then the evidence is destroyed, we can't go back and reenact it again. It's gone. It's gone forever.
Yeah, and again, it's going to get litigated. These death penalty cases get litigated forever, and incompetent counsel waived our right to have the jury go there, and they would have seen the truth. And if you're creating issues, I don't know. We'll see. We just pray for the best. We want the jury to get to the truth. Mike Baker, great having you on. Great reporting. Keep it up. I'm sure our paths will cross again as we continue to cover this case. Susan Constantine, I know our paths will cross again. So great to see you tonight.
Okay, sorry about that. What don't we know, Willie? So, I'm thinking, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the house. I feel that the walls are not there in some of the rooms, probably the bedrooms. The flooring has been taken out, the baseboards. You would have to put all of that back in, but it couldn't be brand new stuff because that's going to echo and be different than old used wood and drywall. I think that they should have, they shouldn't have left it like it is because they need the evidence. So that's kind of a here or there, it's one of those things, because it's got bodily fluids in it and then asbestos on top of that. And then the furniture has been taken out. I don't know. It's very, very crazy. And there wasn't any documents that came out tonight, just the ones that came out last night that we went over. And they are asking just for like some evidence, it looked like. And I don't think that I'll refresh it again just in case. And maybe we'll go over the PCA soon. Do you think that, like, if you didn't know about this case, I don't know. It's really hard to answer that question because we're all in true crime. But if we weren't into true crime, would we want to walk into that? Like, I don't know. I would say it's probably something that nobody wants to see or should see. Unless I wouldn't even want to look at a picture of that. But that's, I'm not a juror. I'm not a juror, as Nancy says. Where's Nancy been? Hey, Sherry. And so, okay. Oh yeah. July. We're in July now. July 24th, Brian Kohlberger is, he has to produce his alibi. That's the deadline for his alibi. I wonder, if he's going to have one. And I wonder why it's taken till July, 6 months to get it. So American Princess, I thought about reading the one from Pennsylvania. It's a little different and it's a little easier to kind of understand, I feel like. We've read some of it and then we stopped. I was trying to do visuals and then I never went back to it. So I thought we could do that sometime soon. That way we could just, every time I read the PCA like over again, I feel like I've learned something that I didn't know before. Like I always feel like I've learned something new. Yeah, I was reading the chat. They got a lot of stuff. I think that they do. I think that they're heading in the right direction. Now, no one's saying that we would convict him right now with this bit of evidence because this isn't all the evidence that they have. So, and no one's dying today. No one's dying tomorrow. So don't worry. The guy that's on death row in Idaho right now, he's been on death row for 37 years. He's been in prison for over 40. He's just hanging, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. Just hanging out, I guess. Yeah, truth and justice matters. I'd be screaming my alibi. I'm kind of surprised that there hasn't been a venue change. I really am surprised about that. I think that they would want to keep it in the same county because they want the money for the county. Let's be real. But I think that what they'll end up doing is shuttling in a new jury from another county. So instead of moving the trial out of the county, I think that they'll move the jury into the county. If that makes sense. But if he had one, he should have produced it. He said he has one. So this is his chance now, Willie. Like, that's what I mean. Like, Brian Kohlberger says, got an alibi. Well, it's been 6 months. What is it? Give me more evidence, and then I'll tell you. It's been a game. It's been a game. Prosecution saying we don't have it right now. Sorry. Oh, of course. Yeah, you want as much as you can in DP case, but we're not sentencing anyone right now, I don't think. I thought he said that he had one. That's what he keeps saying he's going to produce an alibi when he finds it, pretty much. He keeps saying, give me more evidence and we'll get an alibi. Oh, of course. No, the state does have to prove their case. That's what they have to do. But they don't have to point and direct the defense on what they're getting and where they're getting it. They can give them the discovery and the defense can go and find it themselves. That's the difference in this case. That's why we're seeing a lot of paperwork being pushed back and forth, going back and forth between defense and the prosecution, because they can't make a decision without the lawyer or without the judge being present. They need that judge to be there because they can't make decisions. If you've read the documents, you've seen the kiddish comments that are in, like, when you read between the lines, they're like, it's like, wow, did they really just say that? Wow, did they just say that to them? Both sides. Yeah, so I guess we have to, well, yeah. So that's true. Brooklyn is exonerating evidence, so I guess he needs to be convicted. Then he's going to exonerate himself. So he's convicted, then he's going to produce the alibi, maybe? His alibi is he's hiding in the oven with Willie and Marianne. Oh, man. Was he in the oven with you, Willie? That's so funny. That was funny. That was good. That was fresh. Let me see. Was there anything else? I think that was all I had. Oh, actually, I was going to show you something on the Gonzalez's page. Oh, this is cute. Okay. Let me share this with you. So it's been, Jay King's still laughing my ass off, hiding in the oven. Well, Willie, I swear, don't you dare try to give him an alibi. Chicago's not that far from, are you in Chicago, Willie? Chicago, where are you, Willie? You're in a city. You're near me, I think. What city are you in, Willie? I thought it was Chicago. Let me know. I thought you were close. I'll take a little bus trip over there, drive my car over there. And I'm taking the parrots too. I want the birds in the picture with the $40K that you're going to owe me. Just kidding. Mars. Willie's like, I'm not telling you. That's so funny. Yeah, I could come put some surveillance cameras up for you, Willie. I'll put them up for you, but I won't watch ya. Man. Oh, I'm here. I can turn my camera on. I'm here. I just had my camera off. I'm here, though. I was reading earlier, so sometimes I turn my camera off when I'm reading, and then I just forget. But it's funny, because I'll be, like, looking in the camera, and I'm like, you're not even on camera. I was wondering, like, why his family hasn't come forward, too. If we believe the Dateline episode, his sister suspected him and told the family at Christmas, hey, we have a brother that drives a white Elantra that lives 8 miles from the crime scene. I'm going to check out his car. Could you imagine if that was if that was my brother that did that to me? Oh, that would hurt. That'd hurt deep down, you know? That's your fam. Now remember, so you're stuck with me. You knew what you were getting when I came in. I know, Willie. I know. But that's good, though. Because I'm going to be $40,000 worth. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of $2 bills. How many $2 bills is that? 20,000? Because half? I don't know. I'm not good at math, y'all. That's probably bad. That's probably real bad. You think that would be part of the prosecution? Ooh. That's a lot. That's going to be like a lot of $2 bills. I'm going to get like a purse and everything just for them. I'm going to just take out a couple at a time. But I started stripping. I know. That's the only place I've ever found a $2 bill. Oh, look at that. That's a lot of $2 bills. 20,000 $2 bills. Ooh, that's a lot. Was that my chat? I can't remember if it was Melissa's, but you were on there and you said that was funny. I think it was mine. And I was like, I want it in $2 bills then. I want it in $2 bills. See, that's good that you can agree and to disagree on some things and you can still, be friendly with each other. Because Willie is a friendly person. He really is. Okay, sorry. I'm going to check something really, really fast before I read this for you guys. This was really sweet, though. I didn't read this yet, so I'll probably cry. Okay, never mind. Okay. So it says here, and I'll show you the pictures too. It says, it's been 8 months since you have been gone. We would do anything to change what happened. There is not a minute that I don't think about you. It's torture. We will do everything to make sure you forget justice. We will be your voice and you will be heard. We love you so much, Kaylee Jade. No. It's a cute picture. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to flip through it that fast, but I'll just flip through these. It's so nice that they took all these pictures together, you know? Like their families have these. Oh, that one skipped too. Oh, I saw the comments. So many pictures though. That's so nice. Like, you know what I mean? To have these memories, like, that's really nice. So whenever people tell you don't take pictures, make sure you take 5 more. I'm the worst at taking pictures. I'm the worst. Like, I own a boutique and I never post like I should. I keep skipping it. My little finger is getting trigger happy. Like, they did everything together. My best friend and I, at our age, when we were their age, we were still best of friends. You know, 'cause when you get older and you have kids, you gotta go a little bit your separate ways. But I had my best friend since I was 2. Look at how much different. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, that's such a cute picture of them. I haven't seen that one before. I haven't seen that one. Oh, I saw you guys said that you're a member of Murphy's Instagram. Yeah, I used to promote it over here on the channel. I'm like, go follow Murphy. I have him on Instagram, but I never get on Instagram. I can't get on there and look at the pictures sometimes, like the videos that and Murphy. I just get so sad. I get really sad. I had a friend in 1982. Oh, you really did? Oh, man, now you made me feel bad. I thought you were going to say something crazy, you know, because you usually do. Yeah, she could do both. She could do both hair colors. Not many of us women can. Speaking of hair colors, girls getting grays. I've got like 4 new gray hairs in the last couple of days. Like, I've seen. I'll be down to visit you this summer. And you're right, tomorrow's not promised. It's really not. My sister-in-law is always that person that like takes a bunch of pictures. And I'm always like, I'm going to do that. And then I never do. You know? And you should. You should take a picture of yourself every day, even if it's of yourself. So you can see how you grow. You know, as a person. Yeah, they do. They like their pictures. This generation does. Compared to like when I was younger, we had flip phones though. I don't even know if they took a picture. I don't even think they took a picture. It was a joke. Okay, legendary. I didn't know for sure. I was like, oh man, I'm going to make me feel bad. Because I had a friend. She was my friend since 87. I had a friend from 87. Wow, that's a long time. We were friends since I have my best friend is still my best friend. I mean, if something were to happen to me, Vincent would call her. She would be there. But Vincent's my best friend, I guess. And you guys. And y'all. I wonder if they ever, if the other families, you know, I hope that they're all like comforted in some way today by like their loved ones, you know, that they do have here, and the loved ones that are in heaven, because that's really sad. That's like every month is another milestone. And I remember Ethan's parents actually said that they have a plan for their 21st birthday, which is in October, but they don't have a plan for the day of the attacks. So they don't know what they're going to do on that day. So Really? That's hippie chick? That's right. Yeah, you got we had the Kodak, yeah, the instant ones that you went and took to the store. And if you didn't take it to the store and like, you know, it just was gone after a while. But I do regret that. I don't have a lot of pictures of my dad. I wish I did. There's photo albums out there somewhere. My brother must have them, but it's my dad. Weird. No, I'm just kidding. It's not weird. We just packed up and, you know, I think he has some, so. I don't want anything, actually. I'm one of those people, like, I don't want, like, a bunch of stuff. A bunch of pictures. Does that make sense? I know that sounds bad. Like, I want it digitalized. Everything needs to be digital for me. I'm one of those people, I print, like, off the internet. Like, that's what I print everything. And so I've been trying to do more of the, like, it's called, like, Swedish cleaning, death cleaning. I don't know what it's called. But it's, like, where pretty much is, like, from Sweden. I don't know. It made sense in my mind, but it's where these people, they only keep, like, a certain amount of items that are really near and dear to them. And they don't keep a bunch of, like, the clutter that you normally have in your home. You know, like when you actually live in your home, you know, after 20 years, it looks like you've lived in it because it's your home. That's what you live in. So these, like, I don't know exactly how it goes because it's been a while since I've watched them, but it's very minimalist ATS. Like, it's like where you only keep, like, a photo album and with your best pictures and, like, a notebook and, like, I don't know exactly what it is, but you only keep, like, the minimal, like, very minimal. And I've been trying to do that because, like, they say when you pass away, if you think about it this way, everything that you have, like, everything that's in your home is going to, like, somebody else to, like, deal with in a way, like, to clean or go through and sort. And I was like, huh, so that makes sense. Like, to me, it does. But hopefully everyone, I mean, because Vince is going to have all this stuff. Here you go, Vincent. You know, he'd be like, I'm cool. I don't need all this. You know, like, but like, because I think it's also because I don't have my parents anymore, so that's why I don't have a lot of stuff. But like when I go into Vincent's mom's, like, he told me, like, they've lived there for 25 years. Their house is beautiful. It's not messy at all. It's just like they leave something like this on the counter. That's fine. But I'm blind in one eye, so everything has to be like in a certain spot. It's cray cray. But you guys should check that out, that Swedish cleaning. I don't know. It just, I think it, like, helps you prioritize what's really important. Helps, yeah. Is MJ going live tonight, late night? I think that Brian's live too, actually. I was going to head over and see who's all live. I was reading the iPad. I don't know why I don't read the computer, but... One of you in the yellow dress. Which yellow dress? Do I have a yellow dress? Let me know. Yellow dress. I'm trying to think. Oh, he is live now? Okay, that's what I thought. We'll have to go over there. You are hippie chick? You do have a prosthetic eye? Oh, somebody wrote me an email about that. If you're in the chat, say... I wrote you an email. That was me if you want to. Something they were teaching a class and they talked about me or something, or they were in class and it was something to do with like prosthetic eye. I don't know. I thought it was really cool. So I was going to ask them if they had any questions about it. Let me know and I'll answer anything they want me to answer. Especially for the name of science and education. I went to a university hospital when I got my car accident. So every single person that I came across is a student and they need taught. So I'm always like, I'm here. 1-900-HOT-HOT. Legendary's number if you want to call. I forgot about 900 numbers. Wow, that's a throwback. See, that's all. I love you guys. Never know what you're going to hear. That's so crazy. You don't want to be forgotten when you die. Oh, Lisa, you never will be. As long that my mom always said, as long as people like talk about you and hold your memory and like still like, you know, you'll never die. Even if there's not a picture of you, you'll never die because you'll be in someone's memory. And that's why I think I talk about my parents so much. I always try to slip them into conversation. And it's not for sympathy at all. It's for, let people be aware that, like, tomorrow is never promised. I do have a prosthetic eye, Brooklyn. Your brother has one? Yeah. So this one is my right one. My good one. My left one was kind of lazier, like, you know what I mean? Like when you're like, you have like one lazier eye than the other. And I was like, Mom, I had to have lost the good one. Because, I try to make light of a bad situation. I did so good. You don't have one? Just blind? Just need a color contact to cover the discoloration. That's cool, hippie chick. See, I don't think I could put one over mine. It won't change the color. And then this one, I don't want to touch it. I get so nervous. So I get so scared. But this one, I do whatever. That's perfect, Legendary. If you want to be remembered, teach someone something. That is perfect. That's perfect. Wow, look at you. Coming in here with the deep thought. That's really good. Because then every time they go do that thing, they'll think of you. And then they'll tell other people. Hey guys, like, especially if it's like a little life hack or something. I'll tell you a little life hack before I get off of here, if you didn't know this. If you guys do like self-tanner, use self-tanner. I used to spray tan a lot. To get it off of your hands, use Windex or like vinegar and water and just like do this a lot and it'll come off. I know that Summer, that was really sweet, wasn't it? I like that. If you want to be remembered, teach someone something. Or start a YouTube. And just make sure they don't take down your YouTube. But thank you guys for being here tonight. I really appreciate it. If you guys want to go over, stop over at Brian's. I think that he was going to be talking about the whole debacle. I don't even know how to explain it. The stuff that's going on with Gannon Stauch in that case. Which we shouldn't even be talking about Gannon Stauch other than remembering him as being the cutest little Sonic there was. I don't know if you guys saw those pictures. Also, there's 105 of us in here. I'm just going to say it. If anybody can email me how I can start a GoFundMe, but I want it to go to Al Stauch, and I don't want to be on it. Like, I don't want to be included. Is there a way to do that where I can, like, anonymously do it? Or maybe we'll do a donation night or something, but I don't know if you guys saw the interview last night. I don't want to get into, like, the whole Zab girl thing too much, but, Al was on News Nation last night, and Brian Enton said, are you going to prosecute this? Are you going to go and try to, like, get charges brought? And he said he's emotionally exhausted and financially broke from the trial, that he doesn't even know what to do. Like, you could tell he didn't know what to do. Like, he was like, and Al, we've seen Al, and, like, he's usually pretty, like, especially on them phone calls with Letitia, he was so strong. Just to see him, like, fall apart, it was so sad. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. So yeah, so maybe we could do like a fundraiser, GoFundMe, something, get his name on it. I don't want my name on it. I want, because I don't want the money or nothing. I want nothing to go to me. I don't want to be in charge of anything like that. I want him, I just wanted to like slip into him his wallet somehow, because I just feel like terrible. But, Oh, is there? Oh, okay, Elisa. She said, I'm pretty sure there's a GoFundMe for him. I'll have to look that up. Okay. We'll look it up, and then if there's not one started, we'll start it for him or something. Because, Oh, I believe that. I think that some of the stuff that Steve says is out of a good heart, good mind, but a good heart, but not a clear mind, maybe, I would say. Just because, shit, none of us would be. And he's spear cannon this campaign, he's just trying to fight and get those. Do you think it was probably because he did what he needed to do? Misbehaving? Oh, your legacy will always be there. Yeah. Mine will be here if you guys keep watching. If you keep joining me. Thanks for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it. We did some like updates on few different cases, and we'll have to probably just do some more lives. Like maybe we'll go back and just do one cover Sarah Boone because we have a bigger audience now. I didn't realize that we were gonna have, like everyone was gonna be interested because a lot of people watch content for Idaho, and I wasn't sure if people would want to hear about the other cases. So I love it, love it, love it. Exactly. That's why I don't want to I don't. That's the fake GoFundMe. That's why I'm like, how do we do this the right way? Because I've only done one GoFundMe, and that was for after my mom passed, and that was just to get help to get her where she needed to be. So 1% see ya. Thank you, Sherry. Well, you guys have a great night. The day you're born, the day you find out why. Oh, I love that Riddler. You guys have some good quotes. I'm gonna have to start leaving you guys with the good quote. I did that the other night and I liked it. But I'll see you guys all here maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day, maybe a couple of days from now. I plan on taking a couple of days off, but I have a pre-recorded video coming out tomorrow, but I need to redo it because it needs updated. So I will redo that and I'll have that out for you guys tomorrow. And then on Saturday, I have the last episode of the ABC podcast that we were covering that comes out. So I will see you guys all in the next live. Bye, guys.